Yo, what's up guys, I'm Adab, welcome to my channel. Today with another video, the last one actually before the live release, which is insane, I'll be honest, I'm so excited. And I have to say that this is also probably my last video for like quite some time. I'm not sure yet because I want to play this game. I want to stream this game 24/7. I'm a gamer at heart, not a CC, so I rather play than create the content. And I'm not sure if I have the time to make content while playing, so I have to see. I'm not sure. So with that out of the way, let's actually dive in. As you can see, we are back at it on my spreadsheet again. And what are you looking at? So basically, first and foremost, I don't want to give you like a whole playthrough guide because everybody's doing that. Every CC is like doing a beginner guide, a progression guide, or what to do guide, and so on. And I think it's kind of defeats the purpose on having fun in the game if you just play like check boxes, if you know what I mean, right? So I think you guys should have fun. So the only thing that I'm kind of giving you is like a goal, or maybe which units I have to build to beat this or beat that. That it's basically this kind of video. And yeah, like I said, so as you can see, we have like the most important PVE content like Doky Dookie, Terror, Aurora, the Union Boss, and Shell Farms, and basically the units and teams that I will build for that. So here with Doky Dookie Inferno, you can see Valerian is my main healer. She's in a box, basically means border units are core. So I myself don't see them getting removed out of the team. I will use them for sure, 100%. I will use Mocha, I will use Casio, I will use Valerian, 100%. There's no way I will use any other units than those three. Then for sub DPS we have like Grey Claws. I pray to God I get Claws. Claws basically better than Grey, but we have to see. Support is basically Chiaki the Echo or Freya. Freya is insanely good with debuff units because she basically provides the pushback on top of the turn meter push. But if I don't get Claws, I have to play Grey, so I lose the debuffs. And because of that, Chiaki is probably better than Freya. So that's basically my plan for Doky Dookie. And as you can see on the notes, on easier stages you can drop Valerian because you don't need the healer on easier stages. Then we have Terror. Terror actually very hard on Inferno because the units get immunity. So here you can see this is my what if I don't get Heinrich, what if I don't get Mitsuki comp, because like I said, we have full immunity on the enemy teams. If I can't AoE strip, I have no fucking chance to push back them, no chance to debuff, speed debuff or whatsoever. So units like Marvel, Mio lose a shit ton of value if you can't push back because of immunity, because you can't remove the immunity. You can't use Marvel and you can't use Mio actually. So this is a way I designed this team to run like Veronica as your only stripper if you get her, right? Even if you don't get her, you could choose like any other kind of bruiser like Rahu, for example, because the goal of this team is basically surviving, because if you can't remove the immunity, you have no way to push back and no way to debuff, and the enemy will get a shit ton of turns. Because of that, you have to survive. And to survive, my healer pick is actually Chiaki OG. So the original Chiaki. The original Chiaki is insanely good. the damage reduction from her S3 or her niche mechanic actually is insanely good. And you probably have to run Chiaki OG because of that. And debuffer again, Great Claws. Support Chiaki the Echo or Freya. And DPS is like Lee and Chloris. Like Chloris is insanely good on one target. But if you don't want to build him, just use Leon. And like I said, if you don't get Veronica and you don't have any stripper, just I don't know, run Terror Hell 4. I don't know, man. It's so hard without a stripper. Then if you actually get Heinrich or Mitsuki, you won the game for Terror Inferno, I'll be honest. Because if you can AoE strip, you can run Marvel, so you can AoE pushback. You could technically drop this Veronica for Heinrich Mitsuki, and you could drop Chiaki OG for Marvel Mio, technically. Because the enemy won't get probably any turns, and if you do that, you can drop Chiaki the Echo and run Freya, because Freya is good with debuff units, like I said. So that's basically my idea when I'm extremely unlucky, I would say. Then for Aurora, as you can see in border, Sybil. Sybil is my hidden pick. I consider Sybil insanely good, and nobody knows that. And I hope it will stay this way, because if everybody understands how strong she is, they will probably nerf Sybil as they did for number 41. So please don't build Sybil. Sybil is broken, but don't use her. I use her myself. For the healer, Linglo or Chiaki OG. Linglo is technically better because she removes the dot from your team and provides immunity, so she's actually better. The debuffer, these are basically the stripper. You have a lot of options, right? You have all these options. I would consider Veronica because you already have the speed down from Marvel and the pushback, so you don't need Viper. But like I said, it depends on the stripper, but you need one for Aurora. If you don't get a stripper for Aurora, don't run Aurora. There's no way, man. There's no fucking way. That's not like Terramaton, because Terramaton immunity only is like for 3 turns, and after that, Terror doesn't have immunity, but Aurora will apply immunity 24/7. So, kinda sus without a stripper. DPS, Rosa or Deating. If you get Rosa, you drop Deating, right? Rosa is just better than Deating. Rosa is insanely good, but it depends if you actually can get her. Like I said, nodes, basically the same node. First of all, you are cooked without Heinrich. Heinrich is insane. If you get Heinrich, you won the game. Heinrich is insane. This is for Aurora. This is basically my plan for Aurora. Union boss. Best DPS, Rosa Chloris, by far, right? Rahu, probably the 3rd best. You can run a sub DPS and DPS. Run Claws as your main debuffer, because Claws is also insane with her hacking ability. Then you can run Chiaki the Echo. It's probably better than Freya, because Chiaki the Echo give your team more turns, and if you can't push back the boss, there's no purpose in bringing Freya, actually, I would say. So Chiaki the Echo is probably better, and the healer is Chiaki OG or Linglo, depends. Notes, Chloris Rose is broken. They are broken. For Shell Farm, you have all those kind of different combinations and team possibilities. It all works. You can just use any of those and build a team. It all works. Of course, it depends against what, but most of the shell farming stages you can clear with these, I would say. And this is basically it for those PvE stages. Then on top of that, I will actually provide you like some information on how I will build them also. So let's look at that. Here, as you can see, this is basically what I will build on which units and how many shells and how many sets and so on. So first of all, you have to know, like in most cases in PvE, you have like 2 DPS, 1 support, 1 healer, 2 debuffer, like in most cases. Therefore you also need the builds for them. And in early game you can just run Onslaught Harvest 8-8 on the DPS, 1 Tamomo, 1 Budo, Tamomo for Remoker, because the tech buff is insane on Mocha. Then debuff, Swift Rush basically, right? Same as for support, all want Unbridled Science and Swift Rush, and healer want Wellspring for the HP, basically for healing and shielding. And White Gale only because Valyrian kinda can use him. Every other shell is kinda useless on Valyrian. That's why I said White Gale. Then for the mid game, you can just increase the amount of symbols for Onslaught. Run the same Matrix. Shells, we run 1 Twilight Knight, he's insane. And 1 Crossroad for Remoker. Again. Debuff, we have again Swift Rush, support Swift Rush also. This time double Black Flag only and 1 Blizzard, because this will probably be for my Marvel. So I kind of want to counter his S3 turn cooldown increase with Blizzard. So that's basically my idea to do that. And then for healer, we run Wellspring 12 and Cure 8. This is already very, very strong combination for healer. And if you pair it up with Electro Squid, it's the best you can do for a healer in mid game. Then on late game, and there you can change a lot of things up and so on, you know, but this is basically what I will build first, I would say, for PvE. DPS, Onslaught, Fury, Edge. I consider Onslaught in most cases better than Kenai, especially on multi-target hitters. It's better than Kenai. Kenai is like insane on one hit nukes, like Chloros for example, where he only hits once. Kenai is insanely strong there, but Onslaught, like I said, is in most cases better. The shell I run is Count, again for the attack buff, and White Fang, even though after the nerfs I think he's still very good. Debuff, double Time Weave and Swift Rush. Time Weave is insane, broken, overpowered for PvE. At least that's my opinion. And if you pair it up with Halloween, you basically won the game, right? Time Weave, Halloween on your debuffers is easy GG for most PvE content. Support wants Swift Rush and Swift Smite. I also said like Bulwark because it doesn't actually matter what is like the third matrix for that, but I thought that when I'm already kind of using Swift Smite and Swift Rush and I'm using Jekyll Guard, I can also like run Bulwark and make the transition to PvP, right? So that's basically what I thought here. And healer, Wellspring 12, Cure 8, Evil Guard 6. This is the best you can do to increase the healer throughput in combination with Supernova. This is like the best you can do for healing throughput. And yeah, so that's basically it. Kinda quick, kinda short. Like I said, I don't want to give you too much information. There's already enough information out. I don't want to just copy paste what other people say. Also, a small advice from me, even though probably a lot of people already said that, but please, please, please don't build only SSR. It will actually slow down your progression significantly. SRs are the main carries for PvE. They are insanely strong, insanely broken. Just use SRs, please. This is like my only advice. I could give you like more, but I want to kind of hold it simple and quick. So with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're as hyped for the game as I am, and I see you tomorrow in the game. Have a nice day and don't break your account.